the channel. We are talking today about how to land more product manager interviews and job offers. This is for if you are in the product management field and you are looking to level up, you're looking to land your next job, you are looking to transition industries, you're looking to make sure that you are landing more of these opportunities, or maybe you're someone who has really great skills and you're looking to climb your way into that profession. And I'm so glad because while I have lots of clients who are product managers, I also wanted to bring on product manager experts with me today. And so I'm really excited to invite on Alisa and Nancy with us today for today's live. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. So
Thank you
Alisa,
for having us.
kick us off. Why don't you introduce yourself? Give us a bit of a background of yourself.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm Alisa. I have been in product for most of my career. Technically got started in consulting, but pretty quickly after that went into product. I've spanned a lot of industries in product, from fintech, marketing tech, creative tech, and now I'm actually in health tech. I'm passionate about product. I absolutely love it. I think it's the most fun role out there. And I also have a YouTube channel where I talk about product management and do a little bit of coaching on the side too to help people land their product roles.
Incredible. And Nancy, what about you?
Hello. Hi. Thank you for having me, and Madeline and Alisa. Great seeing everybody. This is Dr. Nancy Lee, a director product featured in Forbes. I've helped 1,000 people land their dream PM job offer in FAN companies, a unicorn startup, and continue to get promoted as a product leader. And I am the founder of PM Accelerator and also recently launched our second course, which is AI Product Management Bootcamp, which have helped many of our students break into AI as a PM and also getting into those tier one companies, and myself and also in the product space for a very long time. But I started with someone who moved to the US with only $800 in my pocket as an immigrant, and within 4 years, and I became a director product and also frequently the only woman in all the leadership roles. And very happy to be able to share all my journey with everybody who's trying to break into product management and also try to get promoted as a product leader. And lots of you guys actually know me through my YouTube channel, which have over 1 million views, and through my LinkedIn top voice messages over there as well. Yes. Thank you for having me.
Yes, incredible. And so I want to kick us off, and I actually want to hear from folks in the chat. I want to get a sense of who's in the audience right now. So I want you to put in the chat, what is your biggest challenge for landing product management jobs right now? It's that you're transitioning, right? Maybe you're, say, career changer in the chat. Maybe it's landing the interview. How do I get the interview? I'm putting out applications or I'm networking and whatnot, and it's just not hitting. Maybe it's finding good opportunities. Maybe it's that you're just not finding the ones that fit what you're looking for. Or maybe it is landing the job offer, acing the interview essentially. So you're actually getting to the interviews, but you're not getting the offer. So let me know in the chat what that is. And I do want to kick off because, I help thousands of job seekers land these roles, and a lot of them are product managers. And what we're seeing right now is it's a very competitive job market. And we're seeing people who are actually talented. They're talented product managers, but they're not landing as many interviews as they've gotten in the past. What do you think are some components that could potentially increase someone's ability to land more product manager interviews? Maybe Nancy, I'll kick it off with you.
Yeah, there are 3 steps. Here's what I see. Number 1 is definitely the killer product manager resume. This is fundamental. I have every week I go live on YouTube and LinkedIn to do free resume review. I've reviewed literally thousands of resumes so far, and 95% of them I've seen has lots of work need to be done. So number 1, you must really hit all the keywords, talk about your impact, and also highlight the responsibility closer to the job you're trying to apply for, which is create your killer product resume. And number 2, I also recommend everybody to use the networking strategies, and not only just like connect with people on LinkedIn, actually is pitching yourself to the hiring manager, to the decision maker, maybe the recruiters, maybe someone already working in the company, to get more referral opportunities. And number 3, which is a brand new and unique strategies I personally have invented in this product management space for a very long time, which is create your own unique product portfolio, because nowadays everybody sending resume, networking, right? They try the best. The next part is demonstrate you're capable of doing the job. And I've seen people putting on the comments saying, hey, I'm experienced. I couldn't even land a job offer or even interview was because you do not have a product portfolio. We also have lots of free product portfolio training on my YouTube channel, different recommended tools. We also have masterclass, a free masterclass about product portfolio. You guys should all check it out. Everybody's doing these new strategies now. If you haven't done that, it must be something's lacking in the response from the recruiters.
Yeah, I've hired a lot of product managers in my career, my human resources career, and we go straight to the portfolio. Like, yes, the resume is important. Yes, we do look at the LinkedIn, but let me see what you've done. Let me see the proof there. And so that is huge. Alisa, what have you seen?
Yeah, I love that. I think the product portfolio is such a good way to stand out for product managers. I'd also say like this is just it's a very tough market right now. So as you're saying, like some of the most skilled product people are still having a hard time just landing an interview. I myself was looking for a new product role earlier in this year and was doing a lot of cold applications, and I didn't land a single interview from just cold applications alone. I really had to lean into my network, and that's how I started to get a lot of interviews. And so I'd recommend like continue doing the applications, working on your resume, your cover letters, your product portfolio, but also reach out to your people, reach out to former managers or colleagues that you really enjoyed working with. Ask them to review your resume maybe, and then that can kick off a conversation, and they might offer to, hey, let me float your resume to my network as well. So just use your network as much as possible. Even go through your LinkedIn connections, see where folks are working. If any of those companies have openings, start the conversation with your connections. It's a great way to just like amplify your job search.
It's so true. That's what I'm hearing from so many job seekers and so many of my clients right now is they are landing these opportunities through the back door. They're hearing about them before anyone else does. A lot of these jobs aren't posted online, depending on what types of companies you're targeting. And what I always say is measure your job search through interactions, not applications. So everyone write that down. Interactions, not applications. Because just sending out an application, you don't know if a human is ever going to review that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. And you also, one thing that's interesting is I think that we have so many people who are in our first degree connections that are untapped, as Alisa said, but you also can get a backdoor approach, or you can get a referral even if you don't know people at that company. There are ways of contacting them and meeting new people and all of that. So just know that if you're hearing, oh, well, my network's too small, I don't have anyone who's connected at the companies I'm interested in, that is not something that will necessarily stop you from building a really great network. I love this. And one thing, I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat. So a lot of people are struggling with landing more interviews. That's a huge thing. As well as what people bring up a lot of times when they're struggling to land interviews is the first thing we look at are skill gaps, or like, how can I enhance my expertise? And a lot of times people will look at, well, as a product manager, do I need to learn how to code? Do I need to take additional certifications? Do I need additional degrees? And what would you say to that? What are some of those things that, yes, you absolutely need X, Y, and Z, or what are some of those skill gaps that people might have? What would you say, Alisa?
Yeah. I wouldn't say there's a clear, like, if you don't have this one thing, there's no way you're getting a product job. Different companies are looking for different things from product managers. That being said, getting, doing a coding boot camp, or doing some sort of coding, or getting some technical skills. Maybe you're doing an AI certificate or doing an AI course. Those can only help you in your interviews and make you look more marketable. I would also say, try building something. If you're looking for a job, try investing in your technical skills and actually building something. And you can use like low code or no code tools, but maybe that's something that you can actually put in your product portfolio then. So yeah, invest in yourself. Those technical skills are really helpful for product managers. Are they like a deal breaker if you don't have them? Not necessarily, but they can definitely help.
Yeah. Nancy, do you agree? Disagree? What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I also want to emphasize more regarding how to use a product portfolio. Alisa like hit the nail in the head saying that, hey, you guys need to really put in more effort into product portfolio because the experience is more important than the coding skills. And I highly discourage people actually go to a coding bootcamp. And actually, there's a hack. There's a way to show other people you know technology without really knowing how to code. Myself, I got PhD in material science. Okay, I never know how to code even today, but I only managed very technical products throughout my entire career. For example, edge computing, which is decentralized cloud. And you need to know cloud, and then you do decentralized cloud, very, very technical. And I also work on AI products since 2016 and also received the Mayor Best Practice Award for AI that using machine vision, all the very advanced technology. At the time, we also presented our product at NVIDIA's GCT conferences. But ever since most technical thing I ever work in my life, I never know how to code and never written single line of code. However, there's a hack that I love to share with others regarding the hack. The hack is you can use the least amount of time to demonstrate you know technical skills and being able to speak with the confidence about technical, which is two things. Number one, you can take the AWS certification for cloud, only 3 hours. There's two different types. One is 3 hours for business people, only 3 hours, very fast. The other one is the 3 days AWS certification. Either one, you can start with 3 hours first, right? And then you know how to talk about cloud, what's the Kubernetes, all the very technical jargon, what is serverless compute, what is like software architecture. Only 3 hours. You can hack this fast, okay? I only teach us fast track, guys. You hack it right away. Number one thing. So you be able to really talk about important technical concept without knowing how to code instead of spending money in the coding bootcamp, which is a waste. I personally believe that it's not necessary skills. Nobody should ever done that, just only for the purpose of landing a PM job. Now, second part, which I highly agree with what Alisa said regarding gaining experience. So it's less about I know how to code. It's about so what you know how to code, and did you create a product? Did you use product portfolio effectively to demonstrate your skills? As we all talk about importance of product portfolio, I can see people comment on the chat saying that I have a portfolio, nobody clicked it. It's not about clicking. It's about what do you put on your product portfolio? Did you put the right thing on your product portfolio? Do you use it effectively? Do you use it during the networking strategies, right? There's many different ways to leverage what you have done and show that you already have the skills to get into next level. So therefore, there's like layers of things stack on top of each other.
Yes, and that what I'm seeing is the very clear overlap between Nancy and Elisa's perspectives are they didn't say collect these certifications because these certifications and degrees are what is going to make you leap off the page and pop out, and people are going to go, "Wow, you have this certification, you're the best." No, the idea is that you need to gain this knowledge so that you can speak the language and then build the experience and show that experience. I'm telling you right now, I have never heard a hiring manager, especially in product, say, we are going to go with this candidate because wow, I love their education and certifications. That's what's standing out to me. Those are simply baseline, right? So it's good to have the foundation for sure, but we're talking about standing out here, and that's what you need to do in this job market. And it's exactly right. It's you need to be able to speak the language. You don't have to learn coding. That's I think that's such a huge thing is that we invest in these really expensive boot camps when really it's building these projects and it's also building these job search skills. Being really great at your job and being great at job searching are two separate things. And so as long as you're investing in, okay, how do I position myself? How do I make sure I'm very persuasive in the process? That is a massive shortcut. And what I'm seeing a lot in the chat is there's a lot of people coming from different professions into product management, which in my career, I've seen to be very normal, right? Like there's really, to get into product management, you're like climbing a jungle gym versus maybe a straight ladder. So what would your advice be to someone who is in currently a different career path right now? Let me see. Someone's an SDR pivoting to product management. Another person is a senior marketing project manager. Another person's a product marketing, right? Yep. So and then another project manager is also here today. So what would you say for those people who are looking to transition into product management? Nancy, I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah. The path to product management is different, really depends on different background. But in general, we recommend a systematic methodology to do evaluation. For example, people come on the chat saying, hey, I have an engineering background, software engineering, or marketing, or project management. Each of these, we recommend different approach. But now let me show you the framework first. Number one, each of these different professions, you need to understand the mindset. Yes, you can become a product manager, transition to PM, because data have shown that 91% of today's product manager will transition into PM. Our first title at job, the first title, it was not a PM, right? Alisa, you said earlier, your first job was consultant, become a PM. Myself was a systems engineer on oil rigs. 91% people are like us, transition into PM. 9% they went to Harvard and then they joined Google, APM. Well, that's these people. Okay, we're the 91%. We're the majorities. Okay, we're majorities. First of all, you understand you can do it. Other people have done that before. You can do it. Number two, when you do it, is that you must speak the language product manager as the path of transition PM first step, which is when you start to think about as a PM, it makes a day and night difference. For example, someone doing marketing, like we'll have people in the chat saying that marketing, but when you run the email marketing campaign, we don't say that it's email marketing campaign. In product management space, we call that go-to-market strategy to drive user engagement and user adoptions. So a lot of you guys, 91% of every people who want to transition to PM, we already done product management roles, but you never know I've done that. So that's why you must learn to speak the product management language to start to translate what I've done in the past into PM. Now, the next part, which is third part, which is you have a tool. So inside PM Accelerator, we have a tool for students to do like self-assessment and evaluation, which we break down end-to-end what is product management doing and compare your past project into your roles responsibilities and map it out. And then you clearly can see, wow, I have done 70% product management roles and responsibilities. Now the other 30% haven't done. And now what happened to 30%? Build a product portfolio to gain experience you haven't done. All right. So once you take those 3 steps, you're able to repackage yourself and speak the language PMs and break into PM. That's from the experience perspective. Of course, the rest is about networking, resume, and referrals, everything else. But from the experience level, that's a typical path where I've seen people break into PM using the 3 steps.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. And that's like you said, 91% of people transition into it. That is the wild thing it's really quite a newer field that you don't go to college and major in product management. Maybe some colleges do. I know definitely that was not an option when I was in school. Alisa, what was your career path like, and how do you view transitioning into product management?
Yeah, everything that was just said, I couldn't agree with more. I think you ask most product managers, like, how'd you get started? And people are like, I kind of fell into it, right? Like they transitioned from something else. And in my product experience, I've worked with people who transitioned into our product team from customer success, from support, from design, from engineering, from marketing, from business development. Like I've seen people transition from all these different areas. I even see in the chat someone asking about accounting to PM. I worked at an accounting software company, and having accountants as SMEs working on the product, that was like our dream come true. So people can and do often transition, oftentimes internally, into product to get their first product role. So for folks who are interested in transitioning into product and you're working at a tech company that has a product team, my top recommendation is to start forming connections with the product team. Maybe you can set up like a lunch and learn with some folks on the product team. Talk to your manager, tell them like your 5-year plan is to eventually transition into product. See how you might be able to help out the product team, right? Like, maybe you can ask if you can shadow them once in a while. If you start doing those things and learning product management and growing close with that product team, suddenly when when an opening comes up on that product team, you'll be such a great candidate to transition into the role. So that's a great way that I've seen so many people get their start in product. It's kind of wild. It feels like it's got to be one of the most common ways. And then another interesting way how I personally got into it is I started at a consulting firm, and I actually was in the compliance space. And I got hired at my first product role because they wanted to build a compliance product. And so if you're in a totally different field right now, I challenge you to think about the products that you use every day that you're already a subject matter expert in, and then maybe start to consider roles in those types of companies because you have so much domain and industry experience that can help so much as a product manager.
I love that so much. Really, if you were trying to make a career transition, the very first place you should try to do it is inside the business you work in currently. I know that's not an option for all of us. Either that position doesn't exist, it's the wrong industry, or we are not currently employed. So I totally understand that. But that is your first knock at the door. Who's in that department? How can I spend some of even my after hours or between hours that I can shadow them, or I can sit in on a meeting, or I can add some additional insights, or just study what they're doing. I think that's phenomenal. And I think also something that's interesting is that transitioning industries can also be a bit challenging in product because very, very different products exist, right? I have one client who actually just this week, she was working in home appliances as a product manager, and she wanted to transition into fashion and namely athletic apparel. And this is a big transition, right? Because her entire portfolio, we were saying build a portfolio. Okay, all of her portfolio is home appliances like that. And hiring managers are notorious for getting stuck on transferable skills and all of that. And they really want someone cut and paste who can go into a role, has already worked a competitor. And so really, like, all the things that, especially like Nancy, when you're talking about speaking the language, I helped this client totally speak the language, really appeal to this company. She just landed a job offer with Nike this week. And so I just want to say that to everyone out there, that even if you think, oh, I saw people in chat saying, this job market is so tough and all that kind of stuff. Yes, it is. But even if you are one of these people who maybe doesn't have that perfect cookie cutter resume, it is still completely possible for you. And I just want you to know that this client, she did not get any additional experience. She didn't get all these additional certifications. No, she just positioned herself differently in the job search. And a lot of times that is really what you're missing out on and the thing that you need to change. And so pivoting a little bit here, I do want to take some time to talk about AI, because obviously AI is impacting so many different professions and has made quite the mark on product management in general. What would you say has been the impact of AI, both positively, and do you think there's any threats to the position with AI? What would you think? Alisa, I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah. If you're in product, or anyone, you're hearing a lot about AI. AI is critical for product managers to learn for two reasons. One, it's important for product managers to start to leverage AI to make themselves more efficient and more effective in their roles. And then two, it's important for product managers to learn about AI so that they can start implementing AI features within their products. So I think it's absolutely critical that product managers lean into AI, start learning it, and start benefiting from it too. And I think there's always the question about, like, should we be threatened by it, as you're mentioning, Madeline. I think there are certain tasks that product managers do that could get replaced by AI. I think of any task where a product manager is like typing kind of mindlessly with headphones on, like, I don't know, it could be writing tickets or, writing any document or release note, things like that, where you just kind of have to spend time heads down. That's the areas where AI will probably, take on a lot of that role, right? A lot of those more mundane tasks that are written. That being said, product managers have to have so many soft skills. They need to be able to evangelize product ideas and convince people of their ideas and rally everyone in a company together to get them excited about something. They need amazing communication skills, right? So there's so many things that AI can't yet replace that product managers must be able to do. So I really see AI as a tool that can help level up product managers, but I don't see it yet as something that's like a major threat because there's just so many important skills that AI can't yet replace that product managers really need to be able to do to be successful.
Yeah, and that's when I think about a product manager, I think about the hub of a wheel with all the spokes coming out. How can AI, I mean, I think AI, as you said, there's tons of ways that we can use AI to get rid of a lot of the repetitive tasks or things like that. But of any role in a business, holy cow, the product manager is like the sun in the center of the universe, making sure all the planets are still spinning and and like really setting a lot of the vision and the strategy. Which exactly like there's just I think AI is only making product management more exciting and more interesting. I do want to ask, when we talk about using AI in this role, this came up the other day with some of my clients. At what point are we saying, yes, I'm well versed in AI, and what point does it seem like we are talking about AI in a way that seems like it's doing our job in maybe a lazy way? Do you kind of know what I mean? Of like, oh well, I just wrote up the product timeline scope on AI, and there we go. Like, how do we make sure that we're actually communicating about that? Nancy, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, the way people need to learn how to use AI more effectively, and actually AI can use in many different aspects of product management or the entire product development lifecycle. To find the balance, here's how I see it. Number one, we must first of all train ourselves to be a very advanced product manager. So whenever AI spit up some kind of answers, it's right or wrong. Through my test out and heavy users of ChatGPT and AI in my business, and also teaching our students how to use prompt engineering, generate code as well. So what we discovered that AI is only 50% percentile, which means they gave you the answer that's good enough, but it's never the expert, the best in the industry. So therefore, each time when we start to use AI, you must upgrade yourself first. And then you use AI to start think about what something can be replaced, what something cannot be replaced. For example, people also, Alisa's company also work on ChatPRD. I talk about this like AI tools, and shout out to Alisa's company, ChatPRD. And in my free AI workshop, there are like 5 different kind of AI tools people have been using and trying to use AI more effectively in the end-to-end product management job hunting and product management lifecycle skills development. But there's also other things that cannot be replaced by AI. For example, the communication skills and human relationship and the drive strategy vision. And these, I believe, will never be able to replace by AI. And also those skills, after AI become more and more popular, the only few skills everybody must master. That's why I feel like product management profession itself is a very few professions that can never be replaced by AI. There's also a reason more people want to break into AI right now. But that's how I see AI is changing the industry. I also have some like top 8 recommended AI courses I want everybody to take. I can share with the chat later on. And I believe people need to know how to use AI and also gain your competitive strength so that you are not getting replaced by AI.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got some love for Chat PRD in the chat from Nancy as well. Alisa, do you want to speak to what is that business?
Yeah, ChatPRD is an AI tool to help you generate product documentation. I help out with the product. It's created by Claire Vo, who is one of the most impressive product people I've ever met. I use ChatPRD to generate PRDs, but it's also going into different areas too, helping with product strategy documents and all sorts of different documents that are necessary for product managers to generate. It's been such a helpful tool. It's like having a coach that you can actually talk with that helps you generate documents more efficiently, but also helps you create them just at a higher level than maybe you might be able to on your own. To one of your comments earlier, Madeline, you mentioned like, how do you leverage AI but not make it seem like, oh, well, I just spent 5 minutes on ChatPRD or another tool and like kind of coming off as lazy. I think in my experience, people at companies are like excited about these tools. And when I've mentioned like, oh, I can generate this on ChatPRD in a few minutes and we can discuss it, at the end of this meeting rather than next week, people are excited about that because you can suddenly start to move so much faster than you ever could before. So I think it's such an exciting tool. It's really helped people just level up their skills and be more efficient and just like get the ball rolling on things faster than we ever could before, which is awesome.
It's so cool. I love it so much, and that's going to be so useful. And we also did link that we'll link those certifications that Nancy mentioned. Put in the chat. We'll also put it in the description, and we also will link Chat PRD as well. So I do want to play a quick game. This is called Promote, Demote. So I'm going to say a statement, and our experts here are either going to do thumbs up, promote, or down, demote, and you can play along as well with us here live. So here we go, if you're ready. The first one is promote or demote, editing your resume for every application. Okay, we're split. Okay, Alisa, why'd you say yes?
I just think that it just is such a hard market that updating your resume and making sure like the right keywords are there, it doesn't take that much time. And if it can help even just a little bit, especially with like those electronic scanners, like I'd say like, why not just update it? I wouldn't change drastically like all of your bullets and everything, right? But if it's a little thing that might be able to help, I'd say why not in this market? But
okay.
I want to hear the other side.
Yeah, Nancy. And then what is your thoughts there?
So we talk about return on investment of your time. If I go out for interview, I'm not going to tailor to every job. I'm going to do group jobs. So this is what we recommend inside the PM Accelerator to our students. Identify the 5 different type of job you want to apply in category. For example, AI product management job, or you're interested in fintech, or any cloud, or maybe business related, maybe like growth plan manager. So identify group of jobs first, and then you take 10 resumes within each categories, and then you tailor to those, not 10 resumes, 10 JDs. Then you tailor to these different categories, so that you're able to save your time, but still customize to an extent for groups of jobs. So I told you guys I would like to take some tricks. I have shortcut to many different things. Yeah, that's going to save you lots of time. I agree with Alisa, but tweak is in terms of time. Yeah, not every job, but group jobs.
That's brilliant. I love that.
Exactly. And that's the thing that you'll realize is that if you are specific about the roles you're going for, the tweaking of the resume is either non-existent or very little, right? It's just kind of like a tweak here, tweak there, or whatnot. But if you're finding yourself that each job you're applying to, you are having to dramatically change your resume in order to match the job description, you are not focused enough. So I love that. All right, next one is, okay, hang with me here. Positioning yourself as being in a profession on your resume and LinkedIn before officially holding that title. So you've built the skills, you've built maybe the portfolio, you haven't officially been paid to work as a product manager. What do you think? Promote or demote?
We're split.
Okay.
Split again.
All right. So Alisa, I actually want to know why you say demote.
I've just seen instances like on the hiring side of things where you think you're getting something from a candidate that you're not. And I think that can break trust quite a bit. That actually I think is a great place where like a cover letter can really help, where it adds like context to something. Like, hey, maybe I haven't been in this field before, but I've done these things and here's my portfolio and all that. But yeah, I think it's just really important to not break trust of the hiring manager or the hiring team. If they think you have a certain experience or you're a certain role, but then realize like, your experience actually doesn't match that expectation. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Nancy, what do you think?
I have very different strategy, and this is the strategy have been proven, used by thousands of people inside a product manager accelerator landing the job. I agree, do not surprise other people, but there is a way to show your skills in a better way without breaking trust, which is, for example, number one thing inside PM Accelerator, we recommend our students to do internal, external title, and so that you can talk about the part of functions that are relevant to PM. And so you're not lying. For example, have people like marketing or software engineer. If in your past experience, if some of your work as a software engineer, you were literally doing the product management function, given the opportunities when product manager not available, or especially for using each, as I said earlier, each case is different. We have different strategy for different people with different background. Use software engineering example, right? So in some cases, if you're building cloud product or AI product is very technical, your traditional PM doesn't even know, it's like too technical. So they want you to do more product management work and do more technical product requirement documentation, things like this. So if you have done related work, and then yes, you should demonstrate on LinkedIn, on your resume, and on your product portfolio. And then you should have internal, external title so that you can describe it to the hiring manager saying, hey, in this situation, no PM knows AI or cloud. I stepped up. This is my responsibilities if I did. That's why I have internal title, external title. And that playing the function of PM, technical PM versus traditional software engineering role. So therefore, I recommend people start to market yourself if you have done related PM experience. But as I said, 91% of us transition to PM who have done part of PM job before, but you don't know you have done it before. So that's why the step 0 is learn product management knowledge, understand what is product management, lifecycle skills, all of things. And I have lots of free training on my YouTube channel. You guys can take it for free right now. Just start learning. And then you take the style I just described that have been proven.
Okay, perfect. All right. So next one is sending a thank you note after a job interview. Promote or demote?
Nancy, high five. We're on the same page.
I mean, it's what do you think is the good reason for having a thank you note? What would you say? Either of you?
I think interviews, it's like you're really trying to sell yourself, right? Like, and that's just another opportunity to sell yourself. And it's, wow, I can't imagine a situation where it would ever hurt to write a thank you, for someone taking the time to talk with you. So I think it's a great opportunity to just show how much you care about the role, how much you appreciated the time. And maybe it's not going to be the thing that lands you the job, but it sure won't be the thing that doesn't land you the job.
Absolutely. Amazing. Okay. So then showing up to a company in person to drop off your resume, promote or demote?
And then thought about that
one. Okay. So y'all, I have to tell you, I tell my my audience all the time, I say, stop focusing so much on applying online. There's much faster ways for you to land opportunities. And then the first question I get is, oh, so you want me to go in person? And I'm just like, no, that's not what I mean. That's absolutely not what I mean. So Nancy, why are you against, printing out your resume, going to the office, dropping it off?
Two things. First of all, return investment on your time. And as a busy mom of myself, I understand there's no time to literally go there to drop off. And number two, it's less likely a resume will be passed over to the hiring manager. It's likely to throw in the garbage can, the whatever front desk, just it's gone. So it's not effective. There's other ways to do it better.
I'm just trying to think of like if someone showed up to the office and handed in a resume. We're just like in such a digital world that we're not used to it. But I do think like forming the human connections is so important. So like maybe you can meet up with some people or have a coffee chat with someone in person and talk about, yourself, or just ask questions about the company. Like that's totally different. I think any way that you can form personal connections is huge.
Absolutely. All right. Here is our last promote demote. Applying to multiple roles at the same company.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Nancy, you seem pretty confident about that one. Why do you feel that it's good to apply to multiple roles at the same company?
Number one, data proven, because we have students applying for different companies. And for example, real life story. One of my students, he landed an offer in Microsoft. He spent 4 hours, applied for all possible jobs in Microsoft, and then eventually he landed 3 offers. Microsoft, Amazon, and Tesla, using the same strategy. The reason is data proven was that, especially for those tier 1 companies, one recruiter is not responsible for all jobs. Likely, many recruiters seeing different jobs opening and different resumes you have, and then it's more likely a resume being seen by different recruiters for sure within those companies. Now, the second reason is that when you apply for those different kind of jobs with different versions of resume, you just need to make sure that you need to let other people know you're qualified for different job and tailor your resume for different jobs. So actually it's helping you for your resume get seen. And also if recruiter reach out back to you saying, hey, why you apply for 3 jobs, which means you're already being selected for your interview. If not, they never get back to you. They ghost you anyway. So it's a good strategies to get exposure.
Yeah. I feel you on that. One thing that I've seen this actually backfire, because I completely agree with all that, is when it's clear that this person is applying for different functions. So over here, they applied for the marketing manager role. Over here, it's the product manager role. Over here, it's the sales role. And the company's immediately going to go, because actually in from working in recruiting, all of those applications show up in the same file. So you realize, oh my gosh, this person doesn't actually know what they want, and they're too scattered. And it's actually a very big risk to the company to hire someone who doesn't know what they want, is good at everything, but great at nothing. And so I completely agree. Which we've been talking about this entire time, and has been like the drum you've been beating, Nancy, is be focused, right? Have a focus. If it's a big enough company where there's multiple roles that apply to your focus, I love it for you. But if you're thinking that a scatter approach is going to be more effective, that you're keeping your options open, that is actually closing far more doors. So this has been absolutely incredible. It's been so great having you both on. Where can we find you, Alisa? Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me mostly on my YouTube channel, Alisa Works, where I post product, career content. And from my channel, you can also see a link to book some one-on-one time if you ever want to do some career coaching or have questions about product or any jobs in tech.
Amazing. All right. And Nancy, where can we find you?
You can find me directly on my YouTube channel by searching Dr. Nancy Lee, Director Product. You can also DM me on LinkedIn regarding any possible questions regarding product management, career, or product management job hunting journey. And also directly go to my website, drnancy.com. And I also have some gift for everybody regarding a free product manager resume template that been used by 14,000 product managers help them land the dream PM job. You guys can start check out for free resources on my website as well. I'm gonna put it in your system, might be able to help. And
yes. And we'll link everything below in the description. Thanks so much, everyone. I'm going to send you away with a Wi-Fi high five. Thanks so much for coming on. Yes. And thank you, everyone, for attending. It's so good. Love to see all the